Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be tackling something that I know a lot of you are curious about, unlocking your inner genius.
Yeah.
Now,
It's a hot topic.
it is a hot topic. And
It's everywhere.
who doesn't want to boost their brain power? Who doesn't want to reach their full potential?
That's right. It's like a universal desire, right? To tap into that wellspring of creativity.
Absolutely.
And learning that we feel is like trapped inside us.
Yeah, and so that's where the Genius Wave audio series comes in.
Okay.
And they are claiming to activate a genius wave in your brain. Now, I know what you might be thinking.
Okay.
Sounds a little bit
Out there.
out there, right?
A little bit.
Like maybe too good to be true.
Too good to be true. So before we dismiss it as just hype,
Yeah.
we're going to unpack what exactly they're saying. So we've dug into their materials.
Okay.
And it is a mix of some really interesting ideas and some real science.
That's great. Yeah, it's not just like smoke and mirrors or anything.
Right. They're tapping into this concept of brainwave entrainment,
Okay.
which is a really fascinating and growing field.
Right.
Essentially what it is using external stimuli like sound to influence your brainwave patterns.
Okay, so our brains are kind of like vibing at different frequencies depending
Yeah.
on what we're doing.
Exactly. Think of it like musical notes, right?
Yeah.
Different brainwave frequencies are going to correlate with different mental states.
Okay.
So like alpha waves, those are linked to relaxation and that aha moment
Interesting.
when creativity strikes.
Okay.
Theta waves, those are more prominent during deep meditation
Okay.
and learning. So that's when your brain is primed to really absorb new information.
So the genius wave is trying to tap into these specific frequencies
Right.
to help us learn more effectively and create more effectively.
That's the idea.
Right.
They're saying by listening to their audio tracks, you can essentially train your brain to operate at these higher levels. It's kind of like a workout for your brain waves,
Okay.
getting them in sync with those peak performance states.
I like that. So that's starting to make more sense to me.
Yeah.
But how much of this is actually backed by research?
Uh-huh.
Can we really hack our brains like this?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And the answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no.
Okay.
You know, the field of neuroscience is revealing that brainwave entrainment can have tangible effects.
Interesting.
Think about it. We already know that music can alter our mood,
Oh, for sure.
or that certain sounds can be incredibly relaxing.
Totally.
So brainwave entrainment kind of takes this principle a step further.
Okay, so it's not totally outlandish to think that we could be influencing our brainwaves
Right.
with sound.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the genius wave doesn't just rely on these vague claims.
Wow.
They cite a number of scientific studies in their materials.
Okay.
Some published in, reputable journals like Cerebral Cortex.
Oh, wow.
These studies delve into things like the role of theta oscillation.
Right, those are the brainwave patterns that are linked to learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how specific types of auditory stimulation can actually impact those oscillations.
Wow, so there's some legitimate scientific grounding
Yeah.
for what they're doing.
It seems that way.
That's at least reassuring for a skeptic like me.
Right, I hear it. It's important to be discerning, for sure.
Yeah.
And one study that they highlight
Okay.
that was published in Cerebral Cortex just last year explored the impact of individualized brainwave entrainment
Yeah.
on learning.
Uh-huh.
And here's the really fascinating part. They found that tailoring the frequency to each person's unique brain rhythms actually boosted their learning capabilities significantly.
Wait, so it's not a one-size-fits-all approach?
Right.
You need to find the right frequency
Yeah, it seems like that's a crucial factor.
for your own brain.
Yeah,
Oh.
at least according to this research. And that's what makes the genius wave particularly intriguing,
Okay.
because they're not just blasting you with generic frequencies.
Right.
They actually incorporate techniques to personalize the experience.
Okay, so we're going to dive deeper into exactly how they do that later on.
Yeah.
But that's a really key element that sets them apart.
Definitely.
So how do affirmations tie into brainwave entrainment? Are they just playing these positive statements over the binaural beats?
It's a little more nuanced than that.
Okay.
The genius wave integrates these affirmations very strategically, often during those relaxed states that are induced by the brainwave entrainment.
Right.
So the idea is that when your brain is in those receptive alpha or theta states, it's more open to suggestion.
So it's like planting seeds in fertile ground.
Ex-
You're more likely to absorb and internalize those positive messages. when your brain is in a really relaxed and open state.
That's the idea. It's like sneaking in through the back door of your subconscious mind.
Okay.
And that's where the real magic of affirmations lie, in their ability to reprogram those deep-seated beliefs that often hold us back.
Yeah, I love that analogy. It's like giving your subconscious mind a little upgrade.
Exactly.
And it makes sense why they would pair those affirmations with the brainwave entrainment. It's like creating the perfect environment for those positive messages to really take root.
They work together beautifully.
That's really interesting. And they take it even a step further, right?
Yes, they do.
By incorporating this other technique that I've heard of, but I don't know a whole lot about,
Okay.
neuro-linguistic programming,
NLP.
or NLP.
That's right.
I heard of it, but I'll admit I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details. Can you give us a quick rundown what it is and how it works?
Of course. So NLP is this really fascinating field that explores the connection between language. Okay.
Thought patterns and behavior.
Interesting.
It really delves into how our words and our mental models actually shape our experiences.
Wow.
And it offers techniques for rewiring those patterns to achieve our desired outcomes.
So it's kind of like cognitive reprogramming.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
changing the way you think and talk about things to change your behavior and ultimately your results.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And the Genius Wave seems to be incorporating elements of NLP into their audio tracks
Okay.
to help you overcome limiting beliefs, cultivate a more positive mindset,
All right.
and enhance your ability to learn and create.
So they're not just shifting your brainwave state
Right.
with binaural beats,
It's more than that.
but they're also actively working on those subconscious thought patterns and mental models
Yeah, those underlying patterns.
that can really hold us back.
Absolutely. They can be very powerful.
And I'm guessing that's where the personalization piece comes in again?
They're tailoring the affirmations
Yeah.
and NLP techniques to the individual's specific needs and goals.
That's right. They're trying to create this really personalized experience
Okay.
that resonates with your unique challenges and aspirations.
It sounds like they've really thought this through.
They have.
They're not just hopping on the brainwave entrainment bandwagon.
No,
They're really trying to create something that's more comprehensive and tailored to the individual.
they're trying to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, well, I have to say, you've sold me on the concept.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's more than just brainwave entrainment. It's really about empowering individuals to tap into their own potential and create lasting change. What are your final thoughts for our listeners who might be considering giving the Genius Wave a try?
You know, if you're curious about enhancing your cognitive abilities, boosting your creativity, or simply exploring a new path to personal growth,
Yeah.
the Genius Wave definitely offers a really compelling approach. So, do your research, approach it with that discerning mind,
Right?
and most importantly, be an active participant in your own journey.
Wonderful advice. It's not about passively consuming a product.
No.
It's about really engaging with it and using it as a catalyst for your own transformation.
Exactly.
And speaking of which, if you're intrigued by the Genius Wave, you can find a link to their official website in the episode description.
It's worth checking out.
Yeah, give it a look. Explore their materials
Uh-huh.
and see if it resonates with you.
And remember, the journey of self-discovery is ongoing.
That's the point.
Whether or not you choose to explore the Genius Wave, stay curious, keep learning,
Yeah.
and never stop seeking ways to unlock your own unique potential.
Beautifully said. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Genius Wave.
Pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful and maybe even inspiring. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing.